Welcome back to the Kyle Olson Show. I'm honored to have back to the program Eric Trump. I know it's crunch time, but thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks so much, Kyle.
You and your family have been, I think, in every corner of Michigan by this point, with 3 days to go. Nobody can say you aren't working for the votes. How are things looking?
Yeah, we do work for the votes. We have great work ethic as a family, something our father instilled in us, at a young age, and we're campaigning incredibly hard. I can't tell you how many times I've been in Michigan, and I love it. I was there yesterday, in fact, and it's an amazing state with unbelievable enthusiasm. There's so much love in the state, and I think it's going well. And I think people have to get out and vote. But I think we're going to have a beautiful day next Tuesday.
I was at the Evangelicals for Trump event in Grand Rapids on Thursday. I could tell from your face that there was a genuine appreciation for the overwhelming support for your father and your family in Michigan. What's your response to the huge crowds across the state?
Yeah, I mean, there are a huge crowd. And by the way, that event, Kyle, was incredible. I mean, I did for everybody listening, I did a big Evangelicals for Trump event, and I mean, there must have been 1,000 people in that room. I mean, that was a massive auditorium, and it was. And listen, I'm sick and tired of seeing what people are doing to faith in this nation. I mean, faith is under attack in this nation. Our Constitution's under attack. Our free speech is under attack. Our Second Amendment's under attack. You have a guy from the radical left. He tries to portray himself not to be, but he wants to make his Elizabeth Warren the Treasury Secretary, and he wants to make Beto O'Rourke the gun czar, and AOC and Ilhan Omar will be making half the decisions in that place, but. It's scary. I mean, they want to raise your taxes by $4 trillion. They want to socialize health care. They talk about that. They're perfectly fine with people attacking law enforcement officers. I mean, they're literally throwing bricks at law enforcement officers in cities across the country, and they don't even say anything about it. In fact, Biden comes out and says, Antifa is just an idea. They're not real. They're just an idea, he says. And it's really amazing. And then you look at my father. I mean, my father's built the greatest economy, rebuilt the military, lowest unemployment, lowest African-American unemployment, lowest Hispanic unemployment, fastest, growing 401ks. You see GDP yesterday, 33.1% increase. It was the largest increase in GDP in the history of this nation. You see what he's done for criminal justice reform. You see what he's done pushing school choice and charter schools in this nation. You see the peace deals that are getting signed every single day in this country, 4 in the last 4 weeks. He moved the embassy to Jerusalem. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Look what he's done with the southern border. You have the least amount of human trafficking ever coming into this country. Millions of people off of food stamps and government dependence, which is a beautiful thing. I mean, it's just a great thing for society. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but name a single thing that in 47 years Biden has done. I mean, the guy's been a politician 10 years longer than I've been alive. What's he accomplished? He gave $150 billion to Iran, a country that chants death to America. But what has this guy accomplished in his 47 years? I mean, why didn't he fix any of the problems of this nation? Why did it take a real estate developer who knew nothing about politics to come in there and take care of business? And I think America realizes that. I really do, and I think that's why you have the enthusiasm everywhere. Not only my father goes, but all of us go.
Right, and so there's 3 days left. He's got to stop in Southeast Michigan on Sunday, and then he will be in Traverse City at 5 p.m. on Monday, and then the final rally of the 2020 campaign will be at 10:30 p.m. in Grand Rapids. Let's talk about Michigan. New orders from Governor Gretchen Whitmer say indoor gatherings are now limited to 10 people, and she's requiring restaurants to collect contact information so she can track patrons. And also, one of the other orders is don't talk too loudly. But your father has been very vocal about opening the state back up. Why is that important?
Listen, my father believes in America, and he believes in freedom, and he believes in people being able to go to work and play football and live life. As Americans, we weren't designed. We don't have it in our DNA. Americans don't have it in their DNA to be caged up and stuck in a basement for months and years on end. I mean, we indulge in our hobbies. You have states that are artificially keeping people locked down. And I'm telling you, I mean, people in Michigan are revolting over it. I mean, they are, and it's not just Michigan, by the way. It's Nevada. It's Pennsylvania. There's a lot of states where this is happening. It's driving people crazy. They want to be able to live their lives. And you have Joe Biden who's talking about a dark winter is coming. Kyle, he really said that. He said that the debate. You probably remember it. A very dark winter is coming. My father said, dark winter's not coming. A beautiful winter's coming. And we love this nation, and we're going to fight for this nation. We're going to open up, and we're going to get back to work. And that's the mentality we need to have.
Right, and you've got young kids, and I've got young kids, and millions of kids will be trick-or-treating on Saturday. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services issued a number of guidelines for Michiganders for trick-or-treating. I reviewed them earlier on this show, but one says use duct tape to mark 6-foot lines in front of your home and leading to the driveway or front door. They also recommend positioning a disinfected distribution table between yourself and trick-or-treaters. Of course, this election is about President Trump and Joe Biden, but I think it's also about freedom and individual liberty versus progressivism and this nanny state telling us how to conduct our lives. What do you think is at stake next week?
Yeah, listen, I think that's right. I think that's right. Listen, as a country, we can be smart, and we should be smart, right? I mean, I think everybody wants everybody to be, very, very smart and do things. And you can be a little bit cautious with things. That's totally appropriate and reasonable. But people still have to be able to live their lives, and not everybody has the luxury of not being able to go to work. I mean, Biden says, "Oh, just stay in your house and don't do anything and don't come out." Guess what? Not every American has that luxury. His luxury. The media will say that every single night. Not every American has the luxury of the media. People are working, very, very hard. They need to leave. They need to be present. They need to show up. But I'm telling you, it's turning a lot of people off. People want to live their lives and they want to get back to work and they want to get back to the American dream. And that's what my father fights for every single day.
Well, and I think that's what so many people are inspired by, because there's this optimism and there's this belief that you can do anything you want in life, and you just have to work hard. You have to apply yourself. People are seeking opportunities. Contrast a little bit his agenda and his outlook versus Joe Biden's.
Well, my father wants to have the wealthiest nation in the world. He wants to have the strongest military in the world. He wants to have the best schools on earth. He wants to have law and order in society. You contrast that with Biden. Biden wants to raise your taxes by $4 trillion, which would send people's 401ks, down the toilets. He wants to close down half the industries. He talks about, very dark winters, as I said before. They're more focused, Kyle, on banning plastic straws than they are on, fixing the nation's educational system. It's really kind of amazing how that works. And this is a very, very radical party. I mean, it's a radical party in every way, shape, or form. I mean, they brag about coming out. I mean, they literally brag about socialized medicine. There's 180 million people in this country that have private health care plans. And, Kamala has come out saying that she wants to take those private health care plans away. I mean, this is crazy stuff. Why would you do that? I mean, people like their private health insurance. And, and again, why do they never defend law enforcement in this country? And they don't. They allow them to have bricks thrown at them, and they never defend them. And people love law enforcement in this country. And so that's what we're fighting for. We're fighting for red, white, and blue. We're fighting for our national anthem and our Pledge of Allegiance and people standing for our anthem. And, and we're fighting for people to get back to life and, football in this country and everything else. And, they're doing the exact opposite.
Why don't you think they defend law enforcement?
I think there's a lot of people in their constituents that it's not popular with. It's hard to believe. I mean, it's really hard to believe. Look at Minneapolis. It's like the greatest example, where you have the city council coming out and literally voting to literally eliminate law enforcement. I mean, they their exact words were they want to abolish law enforcement. So the city council came out. They voted to abolish law enforcement. Guess what? Crime went through the roof. And about 3 weeks later, they were back begging the police officers to come back. And that's horrible. They did the same thing in New York, where they took $1 billion out of the NYPD budget. They cut all undercover law enforcement officers. And guess what? Crime in 90 days went up by 300%. I mean, anybody listening to this could have told us that was going to happen. But there is a war on law enforcement by the radical left. They don't like them. They don't appreciate them. They attack them. In my home city, and I'm almost embarrassed to call it that, we have a mayor that was allowing people to go up with buckets of water and throw it on cops and not allow those cops to do anything and defend themselves. I mean, this is horrible stuff. These are the greatest men and women we have in this nation, and we're behind them 100%.
So there's 3 days left. What do you need people to do in order to win Michigan?
Well, it's very simple. You have to go out and vote. You have to go out and vote. I'm telling you, we're going to win Michigan. We can win Michigan. We did it last time. People have to get out. Some of these states are going to be incredibly close. You have to get to the polls. Vote for the United States of America. Vote for our flag. I promise you, my father will never let you down. Our family will never let you down, and I hope everybody sees his work ethic and how hard he's been working. Again, versus the other side who, just doesn't have much work ethic at all. And my father doesn't need this job, but he fights every single day because he loves his country, and he'll never stop doing exactly that.
I agree. Eric Trump, thanks for joining me today.
Hey, thanks so much, Kyle.
Thank you so much for joining me today. For more of my work, go to Breitbart.com or find me on Twitter, Kyle Olson 4. Use the same handle for Parler, Kyle Olson 4. The number 4 is for Bobby Orr, who endorsed President Trump this week, by the way. This is the Kyle Olson Show.